and welcome to another episode of Let's Art with me, Kim. Today, for our art activity, we're going to create our own puzzles. So usually I will show you the finished product or a finished product. However, today I'm going to cut out the puzzle pieces with you, so the only thing I brought was the picture that I created for my own puzzle. And then we're going to go ahead and cut it out. So for this activity, you're going to need either a piece of plain white paper or a coloring sheet from a coloring book, or that you can get off of the internet. Can be from an adult coloring book or a children's coloring book, because remember, most of the activities are for ages 5 to adult, but some of them even younger children can do if you're doing these with children. This puzzle is one of those activities younger children can do too, because you as the adult will have to cut out the puzzle pieces anyway, probably for anyone under 2nd grade. So you're also going to need some scissors, pretty sharp. They don't have to be this sharp, but they need to be pretty sharp to get through the cardboard that you're going to use for the back of your puzzle. So, as we're saying cardboard, go ahead and get a cereal box. So it needs to be a thin cardboard, either from a cereal box or from a pasta box or some sort of box you have in your house. You'll need that to cut up. You'll also need a black Sharpie, and you're going to need glue, either a glue stick, or I only have liquid glue, so that works too. You just have to use your finger to spread it out. And of course, don't forget your paper towel to wipe up any mess. So go ahead and run off and grab your materials, and I'll be waiting for you when you get back. Again, you're going to need glue stick or liquid, scissors, a piece of plain white paper or a coloring sheet that you've either gotten from the internet or a coloring book that you already have. You're also going to need a black Sharpie and crayons, markers, or colored pencils. And then of course your box, thin cardboard, either a cereal box or a pasta box or some sort of box like that. Can be a small piece or a larger piece depending on how big you want your puzzle. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. So now that you have all your materials, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and take your white paper or the coloring sheet and color in the picture that you're going to create that's going to become your puzzle. And after you're finished doing that and it's the way that you want it, then you're going to go ahead and take that cardboard box and cut out a size to fit your paper. So my paper fit into a size just about like this. You see I had to cut off some of the edges and cut off some of the paper as well. So go ahead and take your time and start cutting along the lines of the paper. So it'll probably be, depending on the size of your cardboard box, a rectangle or a square. So go ahead and start cutting that now. The piece that we'd like for our puzzle, you see, here's the back. We're actually going to glue our paper onto this side so that the back looks like this. That'll be easier to draw our lines for the puzzle pieces and then to cut them out. So you're going to take your paper and just see kind of how it fits, and you'll see where you'll need to cut. And go ahead and start putting down the glue. If you're using a glue stick, go ahead and, just rub it all down. Or if you're using liquid glue, then I would put some on here and then start using my finger to make it smooth, because you don't want it to be, you don't want to have creases in it. So you want to make it as smooth as possible. So go ahead and do that, and then when you're finished, go ahead and glue your paper down. So I'm going to do it till right about here. And remember, I already have cardboard on the back of mine. I'm just doing this to show you. And then you'll go ahead, glue your paper down wherever your paper needs to go. Once your paper is glued to the cardboard, you're going to go ahead and cut off any excess edges that you do not want to be on your paper. And so you see the back is clean. No cereal box or pasta box, because the paper went over that part. So now, if there's anything you need to go back in and color, you're going to wait, because now we need this to dry for a while so that when we cut it, it doesn't rip or there won't be too many wrinkles. So after you're finished gluing, go ahead and take a little time and let this dry, and then we'll come back. Our almost puzzle dry and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and flip it over on the back side so the cardboard is up. And then we're just going to start to draw little puzzle pieces. So you can draw them however you want. I'm going to draw mine so that they look similar to actual puzzle pieces that we generally see from puzzles that we might put together. So you're going to go ahead and start doing that. Now, it depends on how many pieces you want for your puzzle. Do you want it to be easier or more difficult? So you can make the puzzle pieces smaller if you want more, and larger if you want less. So let's go ahead and start drawing our puzzle pieces. I'll draw one and then we're going to speed it up a little bit. So I just want to go in here. I'll draw from this edge so you can see. And I want this part to have an edge that goes like that. So there we go. There's one of my puzzle pieces. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up drawing all of our pieces. Now that we have all of our puzzle pieces drawn, our next step is obviously going to be going ahead and cutting out every piece carefully, making sure to be as neat as possible while we're doing it. So let's go ahead and get to cutting. All our puzzle pieces, depending on how many you have. Then we're going to go ahead and put those pieces together. Thank you so much for joining me again for our third episode of Let's Art. I hope you enjoyed this puzzle making activity. It's been one of my favorites so far. So if you want to do some extension activities, if you are working with children, I'm always going to say you can have them write. So you can have them write a story describing their puzzle or just a description about their puzzle. You can also, it'd be fun if you have postcards laying around the house or some old photographs that you don't actually mind cutting, or things like that that you can also create these puzzles with. Maybe you have maps that you want to use, and you can go ahead and put them on cardboard, so then your children or you will have maps that are puzzles. So you can get very creative with this and do a number of things to create a number of different puzzles for fun and for learning/fun purposes. Thanks again for joining me. See you in 2 weeks.